Let's go.
Good morning, I'm Abigail here with Sienna and Elizabeth, and we are talking about the evolution versus creation debate, but we believe that there's a compromise.
So the question we were researching is, if evolution did occur, was it in partnership with the supernatural? So we were trying to figure out, trying to prove whether evolution occurred, and then thinking about if the supernatural or God was involved.
And so our answer to this, our thesis, is that when solely looking at scientific evidence and reasoning while searching for a middle ground, we have concluded that evolution is justified, though there is no way to clarify if it did or did not have a partnership with a supernatural being, such that there has not yet been a viable experiment or research project that we can do to clarify the existence or not the existence of the supernatural.
One theory that supports evolution is the Big Bang. It occurred approximately 13.7 billion years ago, and this theory includes Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity and the standard theory of fundamental particles. Right after the Big Bang, a 10 billion degree sea of neutrons, protons, electrons, positrons, photons, and neutrinos. Then there was a huge sea of them, and it was super hot. And then slowly the world began to cool, and all of them combined into one mass. And what they believe to formed what the Earth that we live on. NASA believes that shortly after the Big Bang, the Earth inflated and had an incredible burst of expansion.
And more evidence that suggests the Big Bang did actually happen was that scientists have been able to calculate and figure out where certain gases, in this instance helium, would be, and how much of helium would be there somewhere in our universe. And so scientists were able to calculate it and then look out into our universe and figure out that the calculations of the Big Bang that explain how much helium there would be and where it would be, it was found. And so that further explains that the Big Bang did happen. And also, when talking about the Big Bang, we must keep in mind that there are other theories that help explain it more in-depthly. So like the Big Bounce is something that can be used to explain the time before the Big Bang. So the Big Bounce, for instance, was the theory that there was a universe before the Big Bang, but instead of expanding like our universe is now, the universe was contracting, and then it got to the point where all the gases were centered, and it became a huge, dense ball of mass. And then the explosion happened, and there was the Big Bang. So this is just one of the theories that help explain and make the Big Bang more comprehensible.
One way that people like to prove that evolution has occurred is through fossils. Archaeologists throughout the years have found multiple different fossils of multiple different organisms. However, throughout the eras, none are exactly the same. The dinosaurs are believed to have lived about 240 million years ago and became extinct about 66.5. Eugene Dubois found a new fossil in 1891 called the Homo erectus. These were the first fossils found that have modern-day human-like proportions. They were on Earth about 1.89 million years ago. The oldest Homo sapien fossil is about 200 years old. These are similar to the Homo erectus because they both walk straight up and on their feet. They don't hunch over as much, and they have long legs and torso and arms rather than it being super long arms and short legs and torso.
And more evidence for evolution has been found in microbiology. So scientists at Johns Hopkins University have created a replication of what is believed to be the Earth's environment whenever its primitive environment. And so they replicated that and then observed it to see what would happen or if anything would appear, and they found that life, small biomolecules, were able to just pop up and arise spontaneously, unexplained. So that can be used to justify the fact that life billions of years ago did just arise, and then further, while observing these molecules, they noticed that they then began to evolve, and their genetic makeups began to become more complex, and through natural selection and mutations, which by definition is the evolutionary process. So with this information, it's proof of evolution, but it does not justify if someone above us or a supernatural being or force caused it to happen or not.
So more proof that has found supporting the evolutionary theory is evolutionary psychology. So when you look at the human psyche, you can see many like functions and systems that may have evolved from problems or as a result of problems early in space. So for example, disgust. So we're disgusted by, disgust resulted from a problem early human space, which was disease. So we are disgusted by substances or organisms that may carry diseases, and so we avoid them in order to avoid disease. Another system is attraction. So in the past, we've been more attracted to those that have better physical features, but more so now, intelligence is becoming more important, so we're more attracted to intelligence. Kin selection. When offspring that has resulted from incest a lot of the time has genetic mutations or diseases, they're just less healthy. So we have systems that have evolved in order to detect who we are genetically related to and avoid having offspring with them. And then detecting cheaters. So there have been experiments that have found that in social interactions, humans are good at detecting a cheater. So this is a method of avoiding poor social exchange partners that may have come from evolution.
Okay, so with documentation, which was first introduced in 5218 BCE, with that documentation, we have the story can change over time, and we don't really know which is the right story because it was never written down. So having written documentation or pictures or scripts or anything allows us to go back and refresh what happened and help prevent the story from straying too far from the truth. The first form of writing or documenting was the Mesopotamians' cuneiform script, which can be traced back to prehistory and used a counting system which was composed of clay tokens in multiple different shapes. The first Proto-Canaanite, which originated in the region of present-day Lebanon, consisted of a set of 22 letters, each standing for a single sound of voice. The modern-day alphabet consists of 26 letters and was introduced in about 1500 BCE. Just like the game telephone, you start with one saying, and through time it's going to get changed over and over again. Say the person that started it wasn't there, how would you know what was said first if it's not written down?
And another thing to keep in mind when discussing this debate is the difference is what a scientific theory is, and then comparing that to religion. So for instance, religion arguably is something that cannot be tested. There cannot be experiments, research made off of that, and then further tested to be proven right or wrong. And therefore it is unable to be a scientific theory and to be proven by a scientific theory. And another point to that is that religion varies from person to person and culture to culture. So it would be very difficult to just figure out one hypothesis and then try to extrapolate on that and figure out if that's right or wrong. And scientific theories, on the other hand, are things that can be proven right or wrong, and because of that they are often modified. So like the evolution theory, for instance, used to be that it resulted just because of natural selection, but through time we've realized it is because of natural selection and mutation, so that has been modified. But with this in mind, scientific theories cannot prove religion, they also cannot disprove religion.
So, evidence has shown that religion may have resulted from evolution. So, part of this is because religion can help judge inequality. So, if someone is trustworthy, they will be able to stay true to their religious guidelines and rituals. So that can, yeah. And successfulness, when someone can make sacrifices of time and resources to religion and still flourish, it shows that they are successful, they will be able to support and meet. And then also intelligence, because religion is very complex and it takes a intelligent mind to be able to believe and understand that. So, in conclusion, evidence does support evolution, but evolution was never said to be directionless. Even Charles Darwin, he was religious. His theory was not meant to disprove religion. So evolution doesn't say that there is no God. So we have no way of knowing whether it was guided by the supernatural.
And therefore, both sides of this argument are viable and do present reasonable explanations. And like most issues in this world, it's not all black and white. You can believe in the mix of it because there's no way to know. And therefore, the choice of what to believe is up to the individual.
All right, real quick. Describe an argument from one of your peers' individual reports that made you think differently about your team's solution or conclusion.
The documentation argument made me think differently about my conclusion was because I based all of my research and lens off of scientific research and evidence. And so even though evolution, has been proven correct or proven right by scientists, and same with the Big Bang, since no one was actually there at the beginning of time, it's still in question whether or not it truly is right.
Okay. Reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem your group identified?
The one that had the greatest impact on me was the evolutionary psychology, just because I was more focused on factual stuff and things that are written down and that can be proven. But there's still a lot in the mind that we go through that cannot be exactly proven. But through studies you can show that it's a habit of human nature. So that just showed me to not look at just everything that's written down, because there's still stuff that we don't know that's going on in our heads.
Okay. Describe how the content of the team presentation was changed as a result of group discussion.
So we all had our different lenses we were looking at it through. And so when we all came together, we had we would talk about the things we researched and see what wasn't very helpful to our projects or what didn't help prove our point, and then we would just edit what we were presenting based off of our discussion.
Okay.